by coming up with a national security policy document, we had the opportunity to reorganize the architecture. But unfortunately, it made it more, disconnected, disjointed. And so you have a situation where everybody is on his own. Just recently, when the fire outage happened at Mokola, you saw fire service and water company going at each other. These are two mighty state institutions. If national security knew what it was doing, these mighty institutions would have connected so well, and they would not come publicly to shame themselves and tell us that they are so incompetent. Because for fire water company to come and respond and for fire to come and respond, it tells you that someone is not doing his job, and that is probably the tip of the iceberg. So as far as I'm concerned, Roland, we have a bigger challenge that needs to be dealt with. If anything was to happen today, you saw what happened in Edra. You saw what happened in Edra. Lack of coordination. You saw the committee's report. Lack of coordination. It was just simple little things we should have done, and no one would have died. But you saw what happened. Lack of coordination. Minister says, I issued a unilateral decision. I called somebody. They said, oh, he didn't call me. So, how are we coordinating to deal with security? And security challenges will not go away from us in this country, and won't go away from any country. So the security challenges in this country.
If you look at the security today in terms of the structure and how we're doing well or not as a country, where would you want to see it? How would you also want to have a certain far-reaching consideration for the next 5 years? So 5 pointers of advice or counsel, what would it be?
Okay, so I would begin, I think I've highlighted some of these things before. First of all, you want to look at banditry or bandits on our highways. Bandits on our highways have become a canker, so that you drive into some areas in this country and it's almost like a war zone. You have to be sandwiched in between moving security vehicles, or else you get robbed and killed. A nurse was recently, I think a few days ago, killed up north somewhere. So mine is that we are paying street light levies in this country. How much of this money is accumulated? Where is that money? Who is keeping that money? If we want to prioritize security in this country, let's light up this country because we paid for it. So that if we have street lights, getting, putting them on major streets in this country, chances are that me and you will be safe. Highway robberies would reduce. Let's look at, recruitment into the security service sector. When I say let's look at it, there's been complaints about recruiting party food soldiers and protocol and all that. There's been, rebuttals here and there. I know some agencies do it. Let's get the right people recruited into these institutions. Let's give them the best of training. Let's ensure that these people can do what is expected. Then you take the third one. The third one has to do with financing the security sector. I've said it repeatedly. Financing the security sector. If you go to Europe, if you go to America and the advanced countries, the police in these countries, or breaking the law in these countries, is not a nice thing in your pocket. Police departments have become cash cows. You park wrongly, ticket. You overspeed, ticket. That way, we absorb government, or taking the little taxes that are collected from all of us to finance the security sector. And so let's ensure that we bring what I call sport fines and, ensuring that things in that manner are done right. I think I'm on the fourth one, isn't it? Good. The fourth one has to do with interference from political players, or call it, the politicization of the security sector. Yes, to call that we need a whole reorganization of the constitution will be too long. So I will say that in place of that, let's look for a nice way, maybe an acceptable way of getting who becomes the IGP. Are we going to appoint you because you belong to party A or B? Who becomes a DCOP or who becomes a COP? Because at a certain level, the president must sanction your promotion. So if you are not in the good books of the president, you never get promoted. Even though under this administration, an unprecedented number of them have been promoted. I think that that is killing the institutions we work in today. Then the bigger national security, I left that. The bigger national security, let's reorient, let's relook at what national security means in Ghana. If we can get what national security means in Ghana, Roland, me and you, when we sleep, we'll sleep. If intelligence is working, all these things you mentioned, Swale, police officers getting shot and all that, Roland, will be a thing of the past, because when you commit the crime, you can be free. Commit the crime, they would arrest you. But if national security is in the state we find it at the moment and things are not working, Roland, unfortunately, we are not going to get anywhere. And that would eventually impact on how we fight violent extremism in Ghana and probably in the sub-region. Thank you.
Well, thank you for speaking to us, Mr. Adam Bona. And Adam Bona is the Chief Executive for Security Warehouse Limited, but also a security consultant. He's a great contributor to issues or matters of security in the media or also in the public space. Make sure that you get this interaction as it is uploaded on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Through TV3 Ghana. And as you do that, also we have 3FM 92.7 on all these platforms as well. That'll be it for now. We'll see you next time.
A very good afternoon to you. Thanks for your time. This is Midday Live from our news hub here at the Sawi Kanda in Accra. My name is Emmanuel Sama. Let's take a look at the headlines this hour. In the headlines this afternoon, President Akufo-Addo addresses the nation tonight on management as COVID-19, the country battles COVID-19 for the third wave of the increase in Delta variant infections. The country's economic growth is projected to increase to 4% this year. We'll speak to an economist on how to stay on track for economic recovery. And in international news, kidnappers in Nigeria have seized a man who was sent to deliver a ransom payment to secure the release of dozens of abducted schoolchildren. Well, we have many stories of these and many more, including sports and entertainment over the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're live on DSTV channel 279 all around the world on 3news.com and across the social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. Let's settle now for the details as President Akufo-Addo will this evening deliver his 26th update on the measures outlined to deal with the coronavirus pandemic in Ghana. The address will be live on all televisions networks at 8 p.m. Now, Ghana's COVID-19 confirmed cases have surpassed 100,000 according to the Ghana Health Service. Out of that figure, the Ghana Health Service has said 96,255 persons have recovered. because of the COVID-19 infections in Ghana. And active cases currently stands, confirmed cases, I beg your pardon, actually stands at